This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the home opener. The New York Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers. And, listen, the Knicks couldn't start off the season. The NBA couldn't have given the Knicks a much, tougher schedule to start the season. And you play the world champion Boston Celtics on their ring night. And now the Knicks got to take on the Indiana Pacers. Their playoff nemesis. You know what I mean? It's going to be a good basketball game tonight. A lot of questions for the New York Knicks, no doubt about it. A lot of them, after that display versus the Boston Celtics, a lot of Knicks fans are scared, they're nervous, they're worried about this particular basketball team and if this team is actually going to be good enough. I'm not worried. I think this team is going to be good. It's just the Knicks played against a team that was well-oiled and ready to go. You know what I mean? And with tons of motivation from, the media and all of that, fans and all of that kind of stuff. Not to say that the Knicks didn't have motivation, but I tell you what, the Knicks got motivation tonight, right? Because if there's going to be energy in the building, there's going to be energy in the building tonight for the New York Knicks. This is one of the most anticipated Knicks teams that you've ever been witness to, ladies and gentlemen. Ever. So the energy in the Garden is going to be electric. I wish that I was there. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Look, business is good. Sometimes when business is good, you got to sacrifice some things. So I had to sacrifice the home opener this year because business is good, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I had, my Knicks rep reached out to me today to find out. She wants to find out, when we can schedule some games, and we'll be looking into it. So hopefully we'll be able to get that out to everyone soon when we decide to go ahead and schedule something. But this game tonight, it's not a must-win. But I know for a lot of Knicks fans, it feels like a must-win. I was talking to somebody last night. I was at a high school volleyball game, girls volleyball game. And, this guy there is a Knicks fan, follows the podcast. And he, we were talking and he was like, it's a must win. It's only game 2. It's only game 2. After tonight, we got 80 games left. How can it be a must win? There's a lot of time to win. Mean OB said we can't let the Pacers win. Gotta get some get back for the playoff. It is a must win. Come on, bro. It's not a must win. I understand you want to win. Maybe for the fans, it's a must win. The way that you feel, it's a must win because you feel like, we had such a poor showing and got blown out so bad that we got to start to live up to the hype. We got to win so that we can prove to everybody that we can be a good basketball team. It doesn't always work that way, man. You know what I mean? This Knicks team, while with a lot of talent, is also very, very new. OG came halfway through the season, right? So, he played with one group, and now he's playing with an entirely new group. An entirely new group. Josh Hart is the shooting guard. Last year it was Dante Deep. It started off as Quentin Grimes or whoever, right? Now it's Dante. Then it was Dante DiVincenzo. Now it's Josh Hart. At the 3, started off last season as RJ. Then traded for OG, and it was OG. Last year, Julius Randle was at the 4. Now OG's at the 4. Last year, Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein shared the 5. Right now, neither one of those guys are playing. Hartenstein's on a whole nother team, and Mitchell Robinson's hurt. So Karl Anthony Towns is playing the 5 spot. So you're talking 4 new starters in that starting line. I know Josh Hart has been a starter last year, but you're still, talking about 4 new solidified starters in that starting lineup. 4 new solidified starters. You got Jalen Brunson, and then Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. He's now at the 2, or at the 3, I'm sorry. As OG moves to the 4, and Karl Anthony Towns at the 5. That's a brand new squad. And then on the bench, we got Deuce. Precious ain't even playing. We got Deuce from last year off the bench. Campaign. Right? Campaign didn't play for us last year. You got Jericho Sims. So, there's going to be some things that have to be worked through because the chemistry is not going to be there. It's going to take some time for it to gel, for it to grow, for things to happen. The squad is just too new. You know what I mean? One trade, even though you only traded 2 players, one trade changed everything for this team. Right? Because you essentially traded, you essentially gave up your bench. Obviously, Julius Randle, but you replaced him with Karl Anthony Towns, and then you gave up your bench. Because DiVincenzo was slotted to come off the bench. Josh Hart was slotted to come off the bench, and then you would have had Deuce on the bench, Precious, right? Your bench was looking very, very deep. You knew what you had in your starting lineup. The chemistry would have been there. Obviously, listen, things got to change in order to grow, in order to get better. So, we can't hit the panic button early, ladies and gentlemen. We can't hit the panic button early. The only thing we can do is wait for this team to gel and keep standing behind them and rooting them on until they gel. Because if we as fans start to panic and we start booing and we start blaming this player and blaming that player, we can now participate in the downfall of a team that hasn't even started yet. So, we've really got to be, we just got to be mindful with it and understand what it is that we're trying to build here and know that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. The Indiana Pacers went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They shouldn't have. No doubt about it. We should have won. We were injured. We didn't. They're a good basketball team. They got firepower. Right? They got they play an up-tempo type of basketball game. They're deep. They understand how to play the game together because they've been together. You know what I'm saying? We're facing a lot of the same things that we faced against the Boston Celtics. I mean, these 2 teams were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Right? And the Knicks, the Knicks were the 2nd seed last year. They're a team that people say, hey, maybe they can come out the East. Well, you faced 2 of the Eastern Conference powers. I guess if you want to say the Pacers are one of the powers, they went to the conference finals, so you got to at least put them in there early. But it's too early for us to, panic or go crazy or bug out. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that we have to work on. There's no doubt about it in order to be okay. But I think this team is smart enough. They have the talent. Tom Thibodeau is still the right coach, I believe, to get the best out of this basketball team. So we got to trust in that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at the injury report for tonight. Well, for the New York Knicks, you already know who it is. Precious is out. Mitchell Robinson is out. For the Indiana Pacers, Isaiah Jackson is questionable. James Wiseman is out. All right, so for the most part, you know, they're pretty much healthy. The Knicks, listen, when Mitchell Robinson does come back, whether he's in the starting lineup or coming off the bench, that's a big addition to this basketball team. You know, but it's going to be a while before he does get back. When Precious gets back, he's a big addition to the basketball team. That's going to be 4 weeks or so before he gets back. You know what I mean? So the Knicks are definitely not playing at full health or full strength. 2 role players, right? 2 role players, but, those 2 role players are definitely instrumental. The Knicks got out-rebounded against the Boston Celtics. I don't know, 55-50 or 54-50 or something like that. The Knicks had 5 offensive rebounds. Now both teams shot well from the field, but that's something that I'm watching with this basketball team is the rebounding right now, right? Karl Anthony Towns, he can grab you 12 boards. We don't know what we're expecting from OG in grabbing boards. We're learning that. Mikal Bridges, we're learning that. We know what Josh Hart can do on the boards. You know what I'm saying? But last year, when you talk about rebounding, you had Hartenstein out there that can grab you 10. Randall that can grab you 10 to 12. Josh Hart that can, rebound up a storm. You know what I mean? DiVincenzo was a hustler. He could go grab some boards. Precious. So right now, I'm wondering if rebounding is going to be an issue for this team. We'll see. You know what I mean? JJ said we're pretty weak on the glass right now. Yeah, we grabbed 50 rebounds last game, so it's not like we got demolished. But it is something that I'm watching with the way that right now the lineup is kind of depleted with big men. Can we are we going to be able to rebound the ball? Offensive rebounding could be an issue. Right, because Randall, for the most part, played close to the basket. He'd be out on the wing sometimes, but he still played inside. Obviously, Mitchell Robinson stayed in the dunker spot. Isaiah Hartenstein stayed in that dunker spot or out near the elbows. So those guys could rebound the basketball offensively and defensively. Well, especially offensively, when we had rough shooting nights. Now we're playing a type of offense that is spread around the perimeter. Tom Thibodeau was asked about offensive rebounding, and he didn't seem to feel it was going to be a problem, but I'm definitely watching because Karl Anthony Towns likes to shoot threes. He's going to jack up 7-8 threes a game. Josh Hart's going to be out on the perimeter. Everyone else, OG, Bridges, Brunson, all going to be out on the perimeter. How are we going to fare offensive, in offensive rebounding? 5 last game. 5 of them. You know what I mean? When we have bad nights, again, we're going to have to look at offensive rebounding rate. What's the rate that we're rebounding the basketball? Not necessarily how many rebounds we get because, if we're a good shooting basketball team, then there may not be that many offensive rebounds to go around. So we've got to look at the rebounding rate. So we got to figure that one out. I'm watching to see what it's going to look like this year or right now with the rebounding because, the Knicks are down some of their best rebounders. We went over the lineups. You know who the lineups are for the New York Knicks right now, right? Jalen Brunson, you start point guard. Shooting guard spot is Josh Hart. And I'm going to get into this question I seen someone put about Josh Hart and Deuce. Get into that. But Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges at the 3, OG Anunoby at the 4, and Karl Anthony Towns at the 5. And for the Indiana Pacers, you got Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Ben Mathurin, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. Right? You got Obi Toppin on the bench. You got Aaron Naismith on the bench. TJ McConnell on the bench. Right? They got some guys that can go out there and did I forget about Pascal Siakam? Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I said Pascal Siakam. Right, so they definitely have a deep lineup, and they're going to be a little bit more of a well-oiled machine this year. And we know what kind of offense they play. It's up-tempo, fast-paced, speedy offense. Right, the Knicks, can they get their defense together to play against these teams? I mean, that's a big question. We're going to talk about that shortly as we, start moving into matchups and keys to the game. But looking at the lineups, they've got a lot more depth than the Knicks do. So if this is a close game, you might be looking at the war of attrition down the stretch of the game. Is Brunson going to be at 38 minutes or something like that down the end of the game because the Knicks don't have players? Or maybe not Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, OG. Right? OG already is going to get tough defensive assignments. Bridges is going to get tough defensive assignments. They may need to play heavy minutes if the game is tight. And people will get mad at Tom Thibodeau, but, when your lineup is depleted, it might be what you have to do right now. Now, I'd love to see Dadier get some more minutes. Think that kid is a baller. He can definitely help. Young guy, got a lot to learn, but I think he can definitely help. So I'd love to see him in the lineup on the bench. I mean, the Knicks bench right now is Deuce. Deuce might be in the running for most for the most improved player of the year, to be honest with you. That kid is he balled out the first game. I'm expecting him to ball out tonight. Campaign on the bench. Jericho Sims coming off the bench. And I'm hoping Dadier gets some more burn. I think the Knicks can use his size. He can shoot the basketball. Has a good feel for the basketball game. He's got to work on his defense a little bit. You know what I mean? But I'd like to see Dadier get out there and play. You're going to need, they're going to play a fast-paced, up-tempo basketball game. You're going to need to use your bench a little bit, Tom. All right, you're going to need to use the bench because, it's a fast-paced game. It's a fast-paced game. And you got to be able to, you got to let your guys breathe a little bit. Again, the lineups for the New York Knicks: Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns. For the Indiana Pacers, looking at their starting lineup: Tyrese Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam. They're starting five. James Wiseman is out. On the bench, they got Obi Toppin, Aaron Naismith, TJ McConnell. For the Knicks, you got Deuce, you got Campaign, got Jericho Sims, and hopefully Dadier. I'm saying that's my hope. That Dadier gets some burn. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you live. Well, this is Lauren. Lauren from Cali. What's poppin', bro? Lauren, can you hear me? Now it looks like we might have some issues with the phone line, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe he's unable to hear me at the moment. Might have a couple of issues with the phone line because I seen JJ calling in, and I picked up, but I don't know. Maybe we got some issues happening. If we got some issues happening now, we won't have those issues happening tonight. So I apologize to those fellas for calling in and not being able to get on. You know what I mean? And do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there, smash that like button for me. All right, just, real quick, hit that like button. When we talk about matchups for the night, right, we looked at the lineups, talked about the lineups. Let's talk about some matchups. Tyrese Halliburton is the guy that you got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? He runs that offense. He runs everything. He scores, and he runs the offense. He gets the ball up the floor. He pushes it up the floor. Who's going to guard Tyrese Halliburton? Is it going to be OG? Is it going to be Mikal Bridges? I think it'll probably be Bridges. Most likely it's going to be Mikal Bridges, and then you put OG on Pascal Siakam. Size matchup is a little bit better. Josh Hart on Ben Mathurin. Right, and then you got to figure out what do you do from there. Karl Anthony Towns is going to play Miles Turner, and I guess Jalen Brunson to be on Nembhard. Now, those matchups make sense to me. You know, those matchups definitely make sense. You got to have a good defender on the point of attack. Tyrese Halliburton is the point of attack for the Indiana Pacers. Right? He's the guy that gets him into everything. All right? Gets him into everything. I see Real King says Halliburton versus Brunson season 2. Yeah, kind of. I don't know if they're going to be guarding each other like that. You know what I mean? It's definitely going to be Mikal Bridges on Halliburton. Well, I'm not going to say definitely, but most likely it's going to be Mikal Bridges on Tyrese Halliburton. I think that's a good matchup. I think that's a really good matchup. Mikal Bridges can do his thing against him. Listen, they don't have like the Boston Celtics had dominant scorers, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. These guys don't really have dominant scorers. Pascal Siakam can score, but there's going to be nights when he doesn't do anything. He's not always going to be that guy. Tyrese Halliburton, for the most part, can score the basketball, but some nights he's going to just get more assists than scoring. They have the type of basketball game, the team where anybody can get buckets for you, right, from the style of play that they have. But I think we have the defenders to match up. How much because of our lack of depth right now, how much are we going to be depending on OG and Mikal Bridges to play heavy minutes? I think they're both going to play heavy minutes tonight. Both of them are going to play heavy minutes because of the lack of depth right now in the team that we're playing. The Boston Celtics just jacked up 61 threes, ladies and gentlemen. 61. You got to have defenders out there on the floor because this team is going to jack up threes too, right? It's part of their basketball game. Get up and down the floor, jack up threes, try to score early, right? You got to have guys that can defend. Got to. So that's why we got OG, and that's why we got Mikal Bridges. Let's talk about some keys to the game. We talked about three-point shooting. The Knicks gave up 47% three-point shooting to the Boston Celtics in the last game. 47%. You're not going to do that and win. It's not going to happen. The Knicks have got to defend that three-point line. Especially a team like the Boston Celtics. I don't know if you got to be, Tom Thibodeau is very, very wants to protect the rim, but that team wants to shoot threes. This team is going to shoot threes. Now, they're going to, they might go to the basket a little bit more, but we've got to defend that three-point line. That's the defense has got to be the key to this basketball game, to winning it. Defend that three-point line. Defend in transition. Don't let them run up and down the floor all over you. Right? Defense has got to be key. Rebounding has got to be key. Right? They want to run. If we're not grabbing offensive rebounds, here's where these offensive rebounds come in. If we're not grabbing offensive rebounds, and I'm not saying every offensive rebound, but if we grab offensive rebounds, we're going to limit them from running. The more defensive rebounds we allow them to grab, the more they get a chance to get out and run. So we definitely got to hit the offensive glass, right? See if we can get some second chance points out there. Keep them from running. I see someone in the chat just said, slow the pace. If we can if we can score, obviously, make them take the ball out of bounds. Right? Slows the game up a little bit. If we can grab offensive rebounds, get putbacks, slows the game up a little bit, stops them from grabbing the defensive rebound and getting out and going. Because right now, with our lack of depth, that may be an issue for us. You know what I mean? So we've definitely got to grab rebounds, score the ball, shoot a high percentage, grab rebounds, stop them from being on a break. And if they are on the break, then we got to play transition defense. We got to be mindful to get back and play transition defense. Or they're going to run up and down the floor all over us, make us look bad. And we don't want to get blown out at home. And we don't want to get blown out the second night in a row against the 2 Eastern Conference finalists. Right? For everything that we said we're going to do, well, not that we said, but for everything that's expected of this basketball team, to get blown out by the 2 Eastern Conference finalists, well, yeah, it's going to be a lot of questions. You know what I mean? So that can't happen. Karl Anthony Towns got to take more than 9 shots or whatever it is. That can't happen. You were brought here to be a scorer, buddy. 12 points ain't getting it. You were brought here to score the ball. Score that mug. Get your ass in the post every once in a while. Get a bucket in the post. Go to the cup on the perimeter. Take Miles Turner to the cup. Get a bucket. We need you to score. Right? OG's not a consistent scorer. We're still seeing what Mikal Bridges is going to be with this basketball team. We know we got Brunson. Cat, you got to score. Score the ball. Don't play. Be a little bit greedy. It's your team. I mean, it's Brunson's team, but it's your team too. You ain't got to be nice. You ain't got to be nice. Score the ball. Get a little bit greedy. Get greedy. And if you're in the post and then someone doesn't give you the ball, tell them about it. Tell them, give me the ball. He can't stop me. Give me the ball. You gotta get a little cocky out there, Cat. Come on. I'm saying, get a little bit cocky. Demand the basketball if you want it. Take the shot when you want it. Because we need your scoring, Cat. The Knicks need your scoring. That's what you were brought here for. We need that 25 and 12 and 2 blocks. So you got to do it. That's what I'm looking to see that this game. I want to see the Cat be aggressive. You know, it's a brand new team. No sense in trying to fit in. Who you trying to fit into? It's a brand new team. You ain't got to try to fit in. Right? You're one of the main top 2 pieces of the team. One of the top 2 pieces. So, Cat, we need you to score the basketball. Listen, the Knicks had 3 days of practice or whatever it is. I'm expecting to see the offense a little bit more fluid. I think the defense would be more on a string. Communication to get better, and the team will keep getting better and better and better as we go. You know what I mean? They keep getting better. So, I'm not saying words to try to make anybody panic. I'm just saying this is what we need from Cat. OG hasn't been a consistent, aggressive scorer since we've been here. I screamed about it last year. I don't know if I'm going to scream about it again this year because he's not going to do it. It's going to be nights when he's hot. It's going to be nights when he's not. It's going to be a lot of nights when he's just waiting in the corner for his shot. Some nights he's going to take 15 shots. Sometimes he's going to take 7 or 6 or 5. The third scorer on this team is Mikal Bridges. Well, in the second half of that game the other night, Bridges started to turn it up a little bit, right? His shot looked a little bit more fluent. He looked a little bit more confident. The Knicks need Bridges to turn it up. If we're going to compete with teams like the Celtics, the Pacers, we can't have one guy scoring the ball at will. It's got to be, those 3 guys got to be able to score the rock. And Deuce coming off the bench, do what he did against Boston. Do what he did against Boston. But the Knicks can beat this basketball team. A lot of people are going to say, well, the Knicks should be motivated to win against this team. Boom, 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 boom. Well, Cat wasn't here. Bridges wasn't here. Those are two of the main guys in your starting five. OG was here, got eliminated by him, so he should have some fire in his belly. Campaign wasn't here. So it's not like, it's Julius and Dante and Jalen and OG and Mitch, and Josh Hart and Deuce, all these guys that got eliminated by the Pacers. Good portion of the team, good portion of the rotation didn't get eliminated by the Pacers. So, it may not be that same fire in their belly. They may have some, I don't know. The Pacers probably think, whatever. I don't know what they think. I don't care. So that's it, man. Short show. These game previews are probably going to be a little bit shorter for me this year. Just because of, like I said, work stuff, business stuff. It takes up a lot of time, so they're going to be a little bit shorter. I used to try to do them earlier in the day, but now I've got to do them later in the day. Just before the game. We got about 45 minutes to tip off. I'm super excited though for the game. I really want to see the Knicks get their first win of the season. The 77. Thank you for the super chat. He said the Kings go 3-7 first. The Kings or the Knicks? Who you talking about? I don't know. Hopefully that is the Kings going 3-7, and not the Knicks. Hopefully, because if the Knicks go 3-7 to start the season, people are gonna be mad, real mad. JJ47K said, and Brunson has to be a better floor general. I see players like Morant drop 30 and still end up with 11 assists. Let's just see how the team develops. You know what I mean? How it goes. With Brunson last year, I don't know if he was needed to be the floor general. I think actually, let's say this. I don't think assists actually equate to being a floor general. Just because you're a floor general doesn't mean you're going to get assists. You can be a floor general and you're directing traffic. You're telling people, you're telling people where to go. You're doing all of those things. It doesn't mean you're going to get assists just because you're the floor general. You know what I'm saying? I do think Brunson is a floor general. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it runs through Brunson. So he's going to decide when he's the best option, and he's going to decide when, other people are the best option. Now, it's not always going through Brunson. Sometimes other people bring the ball up the floor. Do I think he needs to be a better floor general? I don't, with this team, let's just see how it goes. But I don't know if we can equate assists to being a floor general. You say I agree with the assist take, but he does need to get the guys more touches. Okay, let's see how things develop. See how they develop. Still Knicks fans, my geysers over there. So what's good, Knicks family? Salute to the chat. Salute to the Podfather Slim. Salute to you, my brother. Always mad love. Always mad love to my man Ron in the building. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I think the Knicks don't want to come home and lose their first game at home. There's no doubt. I think they get this win tonight. Get themselves feeling, get themselves and the fans feeling really, really good by getting a good win tonight. So that we can take that. We can take that with us as we're moving forward. You win tonight, you're 1-1. And you start moving up from there, getting better from there. I think the Knicks get this win tonight over the Pacers. The Knicks know they stunk up the floor. They're not trying to do that at the Garden. I don't care. They're not trying to do that at the Garden, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I appreciate your time. I'm going to get up out of here. I do want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that, we got the Mikal Bridges, the Warden T-shirts and hoodies, ladies and gentlemen. Just like we had Captain Clutch last year, now we got Bridges and the Warden. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put hoodies up this time. Last time I showed you T-shirts, I'm going to show you the hoodies. Let's see. Let's throw the white hoodie up there. Let's get a look at the white hoodie. Yeah, right there. Printjurisdiction.com, ladies and gentlemen. The Warden, the next comic book NBK comic hero from the Knicks squad, Cal Bridges, the Warden. You know what I mean? And yeah, make sure you go to printjurisdiction.com and check those out. I'll make sure that we have a link in the chat and in the description of this video, so you can check them out, because we're taking pre-orders right now. You can only get them on printjurisdiction.com. You can't get them anyplace else. All right, so www.printjurisdiction.com, ladies and gentlemen. It's the only place that you can get them. If you get it from any place else, it's not the real thing. All right, so make sure you go check those out, ladies and gentlemen. I just put the link in the chat. I'm also putting it in the description of the video. I'm up out of here, folks. I'll catch you in the post-game show. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.